Styx lions. You can hashtag Safari Live or tell us on the YouTube chat. Bizarre. I wonder if that's another male and he just hasn't got nearly any development, because they're big. They're not small. Look how big their heads are. They're enormous in comparison to the size of a lioness's head. I think that they are substantially bigger. And something like mange or any, I don't know if that is, maybe it's a female, but whoever it is has got a big head. Yeah, shame, that's not nice. Ages, it's difficult to say. I mean, obviously you can see these cats, they're young. Those are not old. Those two are very, very young still. So maybe they've had an altercation. Maybe they have been fighting with one another. I didn't particularly hear anything. But young lions like that don't pose a threat to a pride like this. Again, if there were young cubs with the Nkuhumas, completely different story. They'd be way less tolerant. But because they don't have to worry about anything like that, you know, they'll probably growl and snarl, and they're just sort of watching them. So, I mean, fighting amongst prides is fairly common. But again, like I said, there's kind of no reason to engage in any battle. There's no food, there's no young cubs. So they'll probably just keep their distance, like what's happening right now, is they've got one another's back. These guys are all obviously got each other's backs. They're all fast asleep. They seem quite confident that nothing is going to happen to them, even if they're, you know, with intruders being around. Yep, Kendall, in the wild, it is 100% possible. It just takes a lot of grooming, and they say that after a bouts of rain, that can normally help get rid of sort of mange. Healthy diet, obviously the healthier you are, the fitter you are. Mange doesn't stand a chance against that, but if it's in a say a dry season and the quality of meat that they're getting from the animals is not particularly good, because the animals haven't really got good grass or much leaves that hold quite a bit of nutrients in them, so that of course will affect the predators that feed on those mammals. And we saw this last year with the white mussel disease. I mean, that was evident. So for those of you who don't know what white mussel disease is, we had a very sad scene last year where we lost 2 of the Nkuhuma youngsters. And basically what had happened was it's a deficiency in selenium and as well as vitamin E and a couple of other sort of minor minerals. And that comes from poor grazing. And remember, we had the worst drought in 2015. This pushed on into 2016 and also the beginning of 2017. So 2.5 years of really, really bad sustenance for something like the buffalo. Yeah. That can definitely cause it, and then it weakens the animals. Okay. So Michael Fleetwood, who I was telling you about now, is fantastic. He always helps us with lions. He agrees with me and says the main pride is definitely the Nkuhumas, but he's not sure who these 2 are. They could have come from the Manuleti. They could be 2 youngsters that have been ousted from their pride and now they're trying to make it on their own. It's very difficult to kind of say what's actually gone on, but he doesn't immediately recognize those 2 lions. I haven't seen the Styx pride properly for quite some time, but when I did see them, I think they were on Hoffman's. When I did see them there, they had bellies full. They'd eaten the wildebeest the night before, so they were quite fat, and they were just laying flat on the ground. So we did actually just see the young male. I just don't have a picture of him because I've cleared my memory card. Otherwise, I could have put the 2 together. I'm just going to quickly call this in. Tristan is giving a very long update. Tristan's so good on the radio. He's so tolerant. When people ask for an update and it's the 7th time I must give an update, I don't. Let me... stations, when you can cover me, I'm on lock with lions. Here, almost Mvubu Road junction with Gallagher Shortcut. One on lock. Oh no, I don't think anyone heard my update. Stations on lock with a group of lions just in not in Yala Road, sorry, Mvubu Road with Gallagher Shortcut. Okay, so they're up and looking around. They look exhausted, so perhaps they've been walking all night long. Steve, no, perhaps you are one of our newer viewers. So the policy here is that we don't intervene with nature unless it's caused because of human interference. So mange occurs naturally out in the wild. It's just something that, sort of picks up. They live up and they can live on the soil. They're pushing one another over. Look how bad that mange is over there. So no, we won't intervene. The only time we do step in and intervene is when, for example, something like a poacher has come through and left snares, and a snare gets on an animal, so it's a wired trap, and it basically forms like a noose around their neck or around their paws. We're very fortunate that there are not many gin traps seen in the Sabi Sand, but I'm sure that they use them on the borders of Kruger, up and towards Mozambique, maybe Botswana and stuff like that. But you don't really hear many animals getting stuck in those. Those are the traps that they, like those big teeth almost, the big bear traps. But yeah, like I said, we don't see that. Normally it's just snares and things like that. So if they can find the animal, dart it and remove it, they normally make a full recovery. Sadly, sometimes you see elephants that have lost their trunks because of snares. It's quite common to see here in this area. And then, of course, if it's an animal that's been shot at and it's still around and it's alive, 100% we'll get the vets in and try our absolute best to help them. And then, if a disease outbreak is brought in, say, by a domestic dog or a cow or something like that, then they'll definitely step in and try and prevent the disease spreading further, or whatever it may be. So it kind of just depends. But if it's something that occurs naturally, it's survival of the fittest, and that's the most important thing that we need to remember, is we as humans want to intervene all the time. And sometimes it actually makes the problem worse. Remember, these animals are living in a massive open ecosystem. It's 8.5 million hectares acres, 8.5 million acres that these animals have got to roam around. So there's absolutely no need for us to intervene. If there's no food, they can go and find more food. If there's no water, they can walk and find more water. So that's something we must remember. Okay. Chris Rogue, thank you so much. And also again, Michael. Now I've never seen the Mhangeni boys before, but that's apparently who these two are. I've never seen any of those lions. So how cool is that? After 2 years, I've now got the opportunity to meet some new lions. And then Michael commented and said that they were seen together with the Nkuhumas a little while ago. I don't remember that interaction, but I could have been in the Mara. Okay, very interesting stuff. Again, they don't pose a threat, so they are both male, and it just goes to show you how the mange has actually affected the growth of their mane. But we'll chat a little bit more about that as we're going to sit with these lions, because I'm quite interested to see what happens here. Tristan, however, seems to be racing around, chasing after all sorts of things.